Hello, welcome to another tutorial. This one is on a tool, a Web 2.0 tool called FlipQuiz, and you can access it at flipquiz.com. And FlipQuiz is a formative assessment tool where you as a faculty or even a student can use to build quizzes in kind of like a game show format. Think of like Jeopardy, where you can have values of difficulties and you can have questions with various types of questions and various types of answers. There's a free version, there's also a paid version, of what they call a pro version, about $7 a month. Not necessary from a tool as a formative assessment piece. It just gives you some different analytics, but for using it for things like formative assessment or a review before some major project or assessment piece like a midterm or a final exam, it's a great tool. The free version will give you everything you need to know. You need to register because, again, like a lot of these Web 2.0 tools, if you're going to build something that you want to access later on or send to other people, you need to have the ability to go back in and get your account. So you're going to want to register first. I've already done that, but basically registering is relatively simple. When it pulls up, I want to create an account, and basically you're going to give it a username and password at that point. And I'll just kind of show you this here. You're going to say I'll stick to the free plan. You're going to give it a username, you're going to put in an email address, you're going to come up with a password, confirm the password, so make sure the same thing is in there. You're going to put your profile information in there. They just ask for a first name and last name, and then we don't love spam, so it says please clear this text in this field to prove you are not a spamming robot, and then you hit create new account. Okay, so I'm going to go into I have an account. And I'm going to log into my account. You can also log in through various social media accounts if you set up that way. And once you get into FlipQuiz, again, a great tool to be used in a flipped classroom environment, a blended learning environment, for formative assessment, for reviewing. So if you have a situation where maybe you have students either individually or as a team, they work together and they present some content. Maybe you have a group all work together on chapter 2 and then they present that content to chapter 2 to the rest of the class. They would also have the ability to use this FlipQuiz tool to create a quiz and then project that out over your presentation tools, whatever type of projector you have. It can also be something to be used in Blackboard, and then people can go through and do it either as a review situation or again to use as a formative assessment piece. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to create one, and then I'll take a look at one that's already here. Actually, I think we'll take a look at one first. I have a managerial accounting one here. Just to kind of show you, this little pencil is the edit tool, so after you get one of your quizzes built and you maybe want to play with it or make some modifications or changes, you can go there. If you're done with a particular quiz and you want to get rid of it, then there's the X where you can delete the board. So what you're doing is creating a quiz board, and if you're familiar with the game show Jeopardy, it's kind of like that. So we're going to click on Create a Quiz Board, and then once this loads, you have the ability to then enter your questions. And basically it walks you through. There's 6 steps in building one of these, so it'll kind of walk you through here. So the first thing you want to do is title your board. Oops. So you title your board, then next you can have up to 6 categories. So basically you're going to have 6 columns of subjects. You need to have at least 2. If you have 2, they will center them. They don't make them larger in space. You don't have to use all 6, but you can. They also provide spaces for 5 question and answers in each one of the categories. Again, you don't have to use all of them, but they do allow you to have 5 of those. So let's say that I was going to have my category, and I'm just going to pick something. So let's say it's trees as my category, and so then I can come up with, true or false, Pine trees are considered softwoods. And then I would put in my answer. Okay, so I can go ahead and put in whatever numbers of questions and answers. If I'm going to put an answer in here when we actually go through and take the quiz, once the person can kind of think through the answers, so think about this as if you were going to be doing it kind of in a situation in a classroom face-to-face where maybe you would release the question on the board and give them whatever, 10 seconds, 30 seconds to think about it, and then everybody else would have to write it down. You can then reveal the answer if you want to. If you leave the answer space blank, it won't reveal the answer to them. So whether it's in a situation where you're going to want to have people raise their hand and do it orally, or you want them maybe to write it down on a piece of paper or an index card and submit it, or just use it for later and then go through them all one at a time, you can do that. But basically, as long as I have questions and answers in all these particular columns, there's my category 1, trees. Category 2 is animals. And so I ask my question. And then I could put in my correct answer. And again, same type of a thing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time developing questions, but you can do multiple choice questions. You can do true and false. You can also, you can tell from some of the icons here, you can grab a link, you can grab an image, or you can grab a video. And basically you're going to be grabbing the URLs of these things. So this is, in order to insert the picture, you have to get the URL of the picture. So let's say, for example, I wanted to go in here and I didn't know specifically what I got going on. I don't know what the URL is, so I can either browse my machine if I have something saved there, or I'm going to give myself a new tab, and I'm going to Google trees. And then I'll click on images. I can go over here to search tools, usage rights, label for reuse. So if I don't want to worry about grabbing any clip art or whatever from a copyright point of view, I can grab something for reuse. So let's say this is the one I want. This is perfect. I say view image. And I'm going to grab the URL for, oops. Grab that URL, go back to this and pop that in there and say OK. So now I have my image right here of my tree, and then I can click down here and I can type, what type of tree is this? Assuming that that would be something my students would know. I can leave the answer blank, and then nothing will be revealed. It will be something that the students will have to kind of guess at and then either tell me orally or write it down in some fashion, depending on how I'm having them participate in this quiz game. So let's assume that I'm all done with everything that I need to do here. Again, I'm not going to create additional categories. I'll just create one more so you can see oranges. And that's as far, but I'm not going to, I'll just show you how, if you don't have all of these things filled out, you're not going to see them all in space in your quiz game. So I'm going to hit save, and it's going to process my quiz. And once it gets done, it will reveal it for me. So it shows me that I have these categories here. 4 to 6 are not used, but I have trees, animals, and mountain ranges. And if you can see these dots here, I have all 5 questions used, all 5 questions used, and only 2 questions used there. Here's a list of what I have. I can look at the presentation view to see what this looks like. Okay, I don't have to worry about that. So you can see here I just have my 3 categories: trees, animals, and mountain ranges. And again, because I only created 2 questions in the mountain range area, nothing will happen in that particular spot. It's only going to show 2, but here I have 5 and I have 5 because that's how many questions I did utilize in those. So let's say, you know, however you're playing your game, whatever it is from a review or a formative assessment piece, you know, just like the game Show Jeopardy, if you're familiar with that, we'll click on trees and it reveals true or false. Pine trees are considered softwoods. So again, you can keep this up on the board till you can give them 15, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it is that you want to do. Is it a review? Is it a formative assessment that you're giving points to? That's all going to depend on how you're going to want to do it. But I have a reveal the answer down here, which means that I will have an answer provided if I click on this. So let's say you're giving people the time to do it, and then you want to reveal the answer to let them know what's going on. Okay? So then you can see that the 100 level question under trees has now been used, and I have these other choices. I think it was the $500 question under animals. Let's see. Yeah. So what type of tree is this? And notice that I do not have the reveal answer here. If you remember, I left that one blank. So that means I do not have an answer that's going to be revealed here. So this would be something that either orally in class you're going to get the students to reply to, maybe, you know, raising a hand or being the first person to hit a bell or whatever it is you're using, if you're using this as a game. Or if it's something that you know, you're using in another format, maybe they're writing it down and that kind of a thing. So that's basically it as far as setting it up. It's pretty simple. Again, you can have 6 across, so you can have 6 categories and up to 5 questions in each category. And it can be used for a nice review. You can use this as a faculty person. And also don't forget that it's something that students can do as well. They can sign up for a free account and they can create their own quiz. The nice thing about this is it's something that can be used actually from Bloom's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 if it's something where you have them actually kind of think critically about a piece of content or material that they have to present to a group, and then have them create their own quiz and identify what are appropriate types of questions that somebody should be able to reasonably understand and get the correct answers if they listen to the presentation that the student or student group put together. So again, when you're all done with this thing, I can click down here on FlipQuiz, and I can go back to, it's just telling me that I'm leaving the game, and it takes me back to my login spot here or wherever I want to go. And again, in my particular account, I can go back to where I was with my quiz that I had created. So that was the test quiz that I built, but let me show you one that's kind of already done here and already laid out. This is one that just a brief one that I put together for cost accounting, right? So it looks the same way, but when I show it to you in presentation view, you can see that I have all 6 of the categories used. So I have all 6 of the categories used, and they'll be loading. Budgeting will be coming in here for whatever reason it isn't, but I do have budgeting used as well. So again, I have all these particular areas. There's budgeting. So I have questions here. True and false, a job order costing system measures cost of each process. Reveal answer. The answer to that is false. Okay. I can move down to the next question. I think this one had an image in it. Entities would probably use, here's a multiple choice to show you can get that kind of question. Maybe this one had the image. Yeah, so this is an image of some raw material accounts, work in process accounts, and then I have a question underneath that to ask them about that situation. So I'm going to go back to my boards. And so I have my two boards here. As you create boards, they'll be listed. So you want to give them a name, maybe based on the name of the course or the quarter that you're in, some type of naming convention that you'll be able to figure out what it's all about. And then when you're all set and you have the quiz and you want to release it, if you're going to send it to somebody, there is a link that's available that you could actually get this link, and you could put it in an email. You can post it in a discussion board or something like that in Blackboard if that's what you wanted to do. You could send it to somebody. There's also embed code that you can get into to pop it into a website. But if I open this particular quiz up, there we go. There it is down there. Embed this board. So there's the information that I need to embed this board. But if I go up here and grab this particular link, I can now copy and paste this and send this to students or to whoever it is that is the audience for this particular quiz. So it allows me to create my own online quizzes in kind of like a game-based learning format. Can be used for formative assessment along with various types of reviews. Again, it's called FlipQuiz. Thank you.